Here we go. Good morning. I'm Kathy Nickelbein, Senior Manager, and along with the Sunrise Legacy and Emerging Leaders team, as well as Cindy Gonzalez and Tiffany Alston, our Director of Programs and Deputy Director, we are so excited to welcome all of our parents, policy council members, board of directors, all of Sunrise Children's Foundation's team, our child care partnerships, our family child care partners, teams, to the Sunrise Children's Foundation Spring 2023-2024 Quarter 2 Data Jam. This morning, you will have the opportunity to hear from our early childhood program area managers. Oh, wait. Let's go. I forgot to move this slide. I was like, why is the music still playing? But that's probably why. Okay, there we go. All right, so this morning you will have the opportunity to hear from our early childhood program area managers and specialists, center directors, coaches, and other leadership team members who put an extensive effort to collect, analyze, and interpret data on a daily, monthly, weekly, and sometimes even hourly basis throughout the entire program year, but especially for Quarter 2 Data Jam. This morning's presentation will highlight the ongoing initiatives across our various program areas and offer glimpses of the various data collected. This data is shared through various means, including the monthly Policy Council program area reports, annual grant applications, annual self-assessment, and with our Region 9 program specialist and the Office of Head Start. The primary objective of this data collection is not only to inform reports, but also to evaluate our progress towards program goals, drive continuous quality improvement across all program areas, and identify areas for professional development while fostering community partnerships. We are confident that the upcoming information will be both informative and valuable. But before we proceed, a couple of important announcements. This presentation is being recorded and will be available on the SCF YouTube channel for future viewing. Should you wish to appear on camera, feel free to do so, but please kindly keep your microphone muted throughout the presentation. Any questions you may have, you can be posted in the question and answer panel or in the chat, and we can discuss at the end of the presentation. Whoa. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Peter, who will elaborate on the significance of data collection and its utilization in our operations. Peter?
Hello, everyone. My name is Peter, and welcome to the data segment for Data Jam. I'm the Data and Quality Improvement Specialist, and we'll be going over different aspects of data, how it's incorporated at Sunrise, and the different things that we look at, as well as the items that we're going to want to improve on moving forward. So as we reflect on the data from the recent quarter, it is important to recognize the purpose of the information and how it is being used to impact program performance and decision-making. SCF continues to shape itself into a workplace culture that utilizes different types of data in its action plans, team structures, strategic partnerships, and more. Data helps us in communicating our needs with each other internally and with other organizations that help in achieving our goals. The more we integrate data-related systems, the more we will be able to make specific adjustments to the program's offerings that benefit families. In Quarter 2, Sunrise experienced various shifts in our data alongside changes in participant enrollment and recruitment of team members. We will review data findings for the months of December 2023 to March 2024. A reminder that our managers today will be doing a deep dive into their department's data that will explain more about the why and how, and that this is a brief and more macro overview of the program. For our EHS data, enrollment continued to increase early in the quarter due to our efforts from the Full Enrollment Initiative program, bringing our average enrollment percentage to 74.1% for the quarter, which is a 32.2% increase year over year compared to Quarter 2 last program year. Previous changes to policies and procedures regarding eligibility continue to display an increase in the percentage share of the foster, homeless, and public assistance categories. The metrics for needs identified close, goal setting among families, and IEP IFSP percentage of funded enrollment displayed higher percentages when comparing year-over-year numbers. Although the metrics for some topics like needs identified, immunizations, and developmental, behavioral, and sensory screenings exhibited lower percentages when comparing year-over-year averages, it's important to remember several factors, like the notable increase in participant enrollment, changes to team member structures, and ongoing training and onboarding. Even though percentages relative to our total enrollment count may display lower numbers, our absolute metrics for our services may tell a different story. This is why it's important to approach data from more than one viewpoint, and why teams need to provide this context when communicating findings and concerns with others. And now let's briefly discuss the path forward. Over the next few months, there are several data-related goals and themes that we can look out for. We will continue to develop policies and procedures so that they reference specific data sets that can be used to indicate whether operational improvements are being made. We will explore additional ways to invite team members, families, and community partners to view our data and provide feedback. We will create opportunities for data sharing to improve monitoring and validation of our data. These are some of the ideas that will assist SCF in the months to come with not only improving performance measures, but also understanding the specifics and mechanics of what works well for us at Sunrise. The concept that team members should investigate, especially team members that are newer to Sunrise, is understanding the types of data that is local to you and your immediate team or department. Then begin to expand beyond that in incremental scales. Start small and review single topics and the different measurements involved with tracking its progress. Ask yourself, how do the more immediate data sets in your daily routine connect to the data from other departments? Maybe you share some data sets with team members from other departments, and you can begin to understand their team-specific data in relation to yours. By learning about the different levels and subsections of data that exist within Sunrise, we can continue to develop policies and procedures that are more detailed and support higher operational needs. And now back to Kathy, who will share information on our community needs assessment, program goals and objectives, and continuous quality improvement.
Thank you, Peter. One of the tools used for data collection is our community needs assessment, which aligns with our 5-year project cycle. This assessment must be conducted once during the 5-year period and updated annually. Our comprehensive assessment was completed last program year, and we are currently updating it, aiming to complete all revisions by the end of April. Through the community needs assessment, our goal is to gain insights into the strengths, resources, and areas for improvement within the community. This assessment serves as a cornerstone for informed decision-making regarding service planning, delivery, and understanding the needs of families and the community. It is imperative that the community assessment is based on data depicting the community's strengths, needs, and available resources. This data is instrumental in gaining a comprehensive understanding of the community, identifying eligible children and families, and tailoring services to effectively meet their needs. Our comprehensive community needs assessment revealed 4 key areas of opportunity in the community. My screen is not cooperating today. Okay, the first one is our area of opportunity is homelessness. Homelessness continues to be a significant issue in Clark County, and the data confirms the need for more comprehensive support services to address this challenge. Child care deserts. Approximately 1/3 of Clark County residents reside in areas with limited child care, especially in rural areas like Laughlin and Mesquite. This scarcity is particularly challenging as many residents in childcare deserts also live in high poverty areas, hindering access to quality childcare services. Foster children. The data indicates that a small percentage of foster children are currently served by SCF, emphasizing the necessity to expand services to better assist these vulnerable children and families. And then last, mental health and well-being. The prevalence of individuals experiencing mental health issues continues to rise, with Nevada being ranked 49th in the nation for supports and services. Sunrise survey results reveal that the zip codes associated with North Las Vegas, Henderson, Boulder City, Laughlin, and Mesquite are I lost my place. All fall into areas of greatest need, supporting the need for embedding and strengthening systems related to the promotion of positive mental health and well-being. Upon concluding the community needs assessment, our team formulated a set of comprehensive community impact goals and objectives for the upcoming 5 years. The first goal is to increase program options and access to high-quality childcare services throughout Clark County. The objectives for this goal include expanding services to Mesquite and Laughlin, Nevada, which we just heard are extreme childcare deserts, as well as expanding services to include family childcare providers. This will help increase services to areas that have high need and provide another option of care for families. Our next goal is to provide and increase services and opportunity to historically marginalized populations, which include, but not limited to, Black, Latino, Indigenous and Native American, Asian Americans, and Pacific Islanders, and other people of color, children experiencing homelessness, children in foster or kinship care, children with disabilities, and children who are dual language learners. To accomplish this goal, our objectives include partnering with community partners in efforts to develop transitional childcare for families experiencing homelessness, as well as increasing our presence and participation in various community and state associations and alliances. This will increase the number of families from minority backgrounds receiving services, foster new partnerships within the community, cultivate an anti-bias and nurturing environment for children, families, and program team members, and increase resources, opportunities, systems, policies, and support for all providers, staff, and families to reach their highest potential. And to round it all out, our third community impact goal is to increase our workforce and leadership opportunities within the community. This includes increasing our partnership throughout Clark County with various higher education entities, high school pathways programs, and state and privately funded workforce training programs. This will bridge the workforce and educational gaps within the state and to increase the early childhood education workforce and growth opportunities. All right, not only do we gather community data through our community needs assessment to address our community impact goals, but as you will hear today, we use an ongoing data collection process as part of our ongoing monitoring and quality improvement strategies. Through continuous quality improvement and monitoring, we evaluate program performance, pinpoint areas needing attention, implement immediate program adjustments, produce reports, and guide our annual self-assessment. These practices play a crucial role in the program planning cycle. According to the Head Start Act, we must have a system and procedure for ongoing monitoring and necessary corrections. This ensures that we meet our objectives, adhere to standards, and consistently enhance their performance. Each program area has identified 3 key focus areas for improvement for this program year. However, they are not the sole areas of our focus in our data collection process, only what we chose to focus on. Jessica?
Thank you, Kathy. Our eligibility, recruitment, selection, enrollment, attendance CQI area of opportunities and expected outcomes are as follows. First area of opportunity is to increase the promotion of mental health and disabilities services offered by Sunrise Children's Foundation to families during recruitment and enrollment. Our expected outcomes for this is that 100% of families upon enrollment in the EHS program will be aware of the resources and program area support offered by Sunrise Children's Foundation Mental Health and Disability Service Team. Second area of opportunity is strengthening the partnership with Head Start Acelero to successfully transition children aging out of Sunrise Children's Foundation in collaboration with Family Services. Our expected outcomes for this area is 25% of children whose families are interested in transitioning to Head Start Acelero and have completed the application process to be enrolled into Head Start. And third is to increase the number of early childhood educators and family service professionals with an expected outcome of, in the next 5 years, we will increase the number of qualified team members by 100%. Up next, Shamika.
Thank you, Jessica. For education's first areas of opportunity, begin the installation stage of our implementation plan for nurturing and responsive care with the expected outcomes of strengthening the teaching practices and responsiveness of the individual teachers, and to better monitor the success of quality improvement and relationship building, and that the teachers will implement the strategies of the pyramid model and understand the importance of social-emotional competence and how it is crucial in the first 5 years of the child's life. Our second area of opportunity is to build the capacity of leadership team with our expected outcomes to be that the leadership team will be more knowledgeable and confident in conducting trainings to their own team members. 100% of team members will have clear understanding of policies and procedures around active supervision. 75% of the team members will be more knowledgeable in understanding how teaching strategies goal assessment is important for assessing children's development and how they will use the information to plan instruction with more intention. And the last area of opportunity is to increase the number of early childhood educators and family service professionals, and with the expected outcome that in the next 5 years, we will increase the number of qualified team members by 100%. Melissa?
Thank you, Shamika. Our first area of opportunity is strengthening collaborative community partnerships and increase the number of resources and services available to family and team members related to health, nutrition, disabilities, and mental health. The expected outcome is to increase EPSDT and immunization up-to-date statuses and increase the number of community-based referrals related to health, disabilities, and mental health. Our second area of opportunity is to strengthen internal auditing and monitoring systems related to the health and disability service area. The expected outcome is to strengthen internal systems and team member abilities to identify child, family, health-related needs, and team members across the area will demonstrate an increased understanding and implementation of health and disabilities and policies and procedures. And our last area of opportunity is to strengthen SCF and CCP team members' knowledge and understanding of mental health as it relates to implementation of the pyramid model for supporting social emotional competence in infants and young children. The expected outcome being that SCF and CCP team members will demonstrate an increased knowledge of understanding of the pyramid model and trauma-informed care practice. Patricia?
Okay, so our first area of opportunity is pre-K transitions. Team members will be able to track and monitor transitions for each child to better support families in locating a transition home. Team members will be able to track each child who is currently in transition, who has transitioned out, and where they transitioned to in efforts to provide continuum support for families after they transitioned out of SCF. Our second area is to strengthen resources and referral processes with our organization to monitor and track progress and results for each resources and referrals provided to families. Managers and team members will be able to document, track, and monitor each resource and referral sent to families and gather accurate data pertaining to each resource and referral for follow-up. And our third area is to increase community partnerships to facilitate access to additional mental health resources and services. Team members will have more knowledge of our community partnerships to resources and will be able to share with families as needed.
Thank you, Patricia. And now on to Jessica for all things ERSI.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Kathy. My name is Jessica Torres, and I am an RC coordinator. RC stands for Eligibility, Recruitment, Selection, Enrollment, and Attendance. We will be reviewing some of our Q2 data. The first line graph that you see is our early Head Start enrollment. We are currently funded for 382 slots, and throughout quarter 2 program year, the line trends upwards. In December, we had 246 children enrolled in Early Head Start, and we finished quarter 2 with 305 children enrolled. This was an increase of 59 children, 19% increase. We made efforts to increase and meet full enrollment with the Full Enrollment Initiative Plan, the FEI. We were not able to meet the goal due to staffing challenges and delay in classes opening during quarter 2. During this month, new employees have been hired and have been trained to start providing services to families and children. In the bottom left-hand corner, you will see quarter 2 enrollment for our program. For Early Head Start Center Base, we are funded for 328 spots. Early Head Start Home Base, we are funded for 78 spots. Early Head Start McBee, this stands for Maternal, Infant, and Early Childhood Home Visiting, and was previously named EBHV, Evidence-Based Home Visiting. We are funded for 25 spots. SCF Pre-K, we are funded for 10 spots. This is a private program offered at West Campus. And Nevada Ready, which in quarter 2, we were funded for 45 spots. You will see throughout the quarter, we did not meet our full enrollment initiative goal for the reasons previously mentioned, but enrollment did increase from December to January for Early Head Start, then remained consistent for the remainder of the quarter. Our goal in quarter 2 was to increase our funded enrollment to meet our goal by February 2024 and be fully enrolled by the end of the Full Enrollment Initiative Plan. We worked on achieving full enrollment by being more intentional on recruiting and initiating services to families to support the enrollment process. We have received a 6-month extension until August to meet the full enrollment initiative and meet our enrollment goal. Head Start Home Base also had a higher increase from December to January and stayed consistent for the rest of quarter 2. McVee stayed consistent throughout quarter 2, and we continue to make efforts to be fully enrolled in our Las Vegas and Laughlin rosters. In quarter 2, children eligible for our SCF Pre-K program were enrolled in our Nevada Ready classes. This is where we had the highest increase in enrollment. Funding for Nevada Ready increased from 15 to 45. We enrolled children in our new East and Spring Valley classes and added a second Nevada Ready class at West Campus. We have been making efforts in recruiting to reach full enrollment and build the priority list for all programs. You will see for quarter 2 on the right side of the enrollment bar graph a donut chart, quarter 2 recruitment efforts. You can see that our most effective method of recruitment for quarter 2 was word of mouth. This was 32.2%, which was 222 families. The second most effective recruitment was referred by agency. This will be our community partner referrals. We received 22.5% of recruitment. Third most effective recruitment is web search, Google, Yahoo, etc., with 17.6%, 122. Fourth is recruitment events. We participated in 27 recruitment events in quarter 2, which was 11.8%. Recruitment from siblings, children currently or previously enrolled was 8.6%. Current previous SCF team members, 4.1%. Families that drove or walked by, 2.3%, and social media was 1%. On the right-hand side, we can see quarter 2 center-based average attendance. This is ADA. The lines for Head Start center-based and the lines for Head Start and center-based stayed consistent during quarter 2. For SCF Pre-K, attendance trends upward in the beginning of the quarter to the end. For Nevada Ready, the line trends upward as well from December to February, but in March, attendance was down from February. Below center-based average daily attendance is the quarter 2 home-based completed home visits for Head Start and McBee. You will see attendance attendance trends upward, and with the new parent educators building rapport with families, the attendance shows a steady increase that concludes our data share for ERSI. And now on to Lourdes, who will share what's happening in family services. Thank you.
Morning. Thank you, Jessica. I will be reporting on our family services. Our goal is to provide quality family and continuing engagement services that promote family well-being, strengthening parent and parent-child relationships, and supporting family engagement in school readiness. On the first graph, we see a family partnership agreement. The breakdown for the key points for this graph is during the second quarter, the team completed a total of 668 agreements, including those under the MACV program. The monthly breakdown for the family partnerships completed was as follows. In December, there was 170 partnerships completed. In January, there was 183. In February, there was 193, and in March, 122. The following graph is the goal setting, the home-based goal setting. Family services worker collaborated with families to establish goals. A 4-step tracking system is used, including like a goal tracking system. We track the start of the goal, when it marks a 1/4 mark, half a mark, 3/4 of a mark, and when it's completed. Goal status across the program, home-based, there was three goals completed halfway, and center-based completed 9 goals, and they took them to the completion. In the graph below of family goals, the areas that we were focusing on, that the report showed us that we're focused on, was 36.6% of the goal setting were left blank, 14.4 focus on housing, 4.2 center around education, 9.9 related to health, 5.6 involve parents setting goals for parenting needs, 26.8 fell under the category of other. Right now, we have new family advocates that join us at the end of February and the beginning of March. We are going to be going through all of our data and make sure that everything that it's here, it's correct. We have some area of opportunity for us, as we were very, very low staff. So we are going to be disaggregating this data a little bit more. Our parenting curriculum, Ready Rosie, Ready Rosie played a crucial role in engaging families. Learning outcomes were tracked, resulting in a total of 974 outcomes for both home-based and center-based. Additionally, MACV had contributed 103 family outcomes. The breakdown is as follows. In quarter 2, 1,114 playlists were sent out throughout home-based and center-based program. The family services team is committed to family well-being and engaging families view and engagement. Families view 400 videos and they send 12 messages responding to what they have seen. For McBee, the total of playlists sent out were 91 and total videos viewed were 36. And they replied to 91 messages. Thank you. And now we go to Denzi in education.
All right. Are you there, Dens? Okay. Moving on. Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Kathy, stepping in for Denzi, who is the education manager, here to report out on all wonderful things that have been going on at our child development centers. In education, our program goal is to increase the number of early childhood educators and family service professionals In efforts to work towards our program goal, our objectives are to strengthen the pathway system, offer more one-on-one and group opportunities for CDA candidates, embedding CDA training track for all new hires, and to create a Train the Trainer series for the team. During Q2, we had 26 new hires start with us. However, due to various circumstances, we also had 6 terminations. Some team members accepted other positions in another field, while others resigned for personal reasons. The first graph shows the data of our new hires that started with us from December to March 2024, along with the terminations that occurred within each month. By the end of Q2, we had 66 early Head Start teachers. The second data set is our current quality rating and improvement system scores. QRS works with us to improve and sustain the early childhood systems through quality coaching, accurate assessing, and advocacy for early childhood community to benefit families in our program. Participating in QRIS brings numerous advantages for our programs, such as, but not limited to, access to scholarships, professional development opportunities, grants for classroom materials, and bonuses for achieving higher STAR levels. In addition, QRS provides invaluable guidance and coaching, assisting our teachers, assistant center directors, and center directors in reaching elevated quality standards. The data set shows us the current rating for each of our centers. 2 of our SCF centers received a 5-star rating. One of our child care partnership sites, the Hills Preschool, also received a 5-star rating. And our other child care partnership site, Prestigious, received a 4-star rating. Shout out to all our center-based team members. The bar graph on the right showcases, on the bottom left, showcases our CDA trainees per month. In the month of December 2023, we started off with 11 CDA trainees. As we moved through Q2, we progressively increased to 15 CD trainees. Our pathway system has improved immensely from the start of our program year to the end of Q2. Education managers added CDA pathway courses onto our new hire training tracks. Our new hires were able to begin the process prior to receiving the CDA agreement. It was apparent that our new hires enjoyed the system as it allowed them to advance at their own leisure, giving them a head start to the CDA process and closer to completing their credentials. The third graph on this slide shows the number of our team members who are inter-rater reliable and the progress of each month. Inter-rater reliability is an online certification process through Teaching Strategies Gold. This process helps teachers know that they are interpreting evidence of children's development and learning in ways that enable them to plan for and respond appropriately to all children in their classroom. The first color indicates the number of teachers who are inter-rater reliable. From the month of December, we had a total of 28 teachers who were inter-rater reliable. By the end of March, we had a total of 31 teachers who were inter-rater reliable. There are some teachers who are still in the progress and some who have not yet started those trainings. That leaves us with 47% of our center-based staff who are inter-rater reliable. With the increasing number of new teachers, we are currently in the process of updating the training track for Teaching Strategies Gold. The education managers will create training series for new and seasoned teachers. Our center-based education staff are given access to TSG early on to be able to have access to tadpoles, as both programs are utilized in our program areas. And now on to Nicole to share what's happening with child data outcomes.
Good morning. Thank you, Kathy. Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Pobletti, and I'm the Education Manager for our Child Development Centers. Our objective for Child Data Outcomes says that 85% of all children are to meet or exceed the widely held expectations in the 4 developmental domains: social, emotional, physical, language, and cognitive. While we did not meet the full 85% in all areas, our children were showing progressions over specific areas. On the first slide, we are going to review data that shows both early Head Start center-based and home-based program options, children in subcategories such as foster children, children with IFSPs, children experiencing homelessness, and our newest subcategory for our Black or African American boys. As you can see, there were 203 center-based children and 57 home-based children assessed using Teaching Strategies Gold, giving us a total of 260 children. The snapshot report for center-based and home-based shows the comparison from Q1 outcomes to the current outcomes for Q2. For center-based, there was an increase in all developmental areas. 83% of our children were meeting social emotional development, 81% in physical, 66% for language, 85% in cognitive, and a dwindling number of 39% for our Spanish language children, which is a decrease from Q1. Now looking at our children with IFSPs, this quarter we had 23 children assessed. The graph shows that 71% were meeting in social emotional, 83% in physical, 55% in language, 74% in cognitive, and of the 4 children who are dual language learners, 1 was meeting the expectations in Spanish language. Over the last year, early childhood focus has been more intentional on the outcomes of young Black American and African American boys. This quarter, we pulled data for both program options combined to show where our Black or African American boys were falling within the widely held expectations. As a result, there were a total of 36 boys out of 44 who were assessed in Teaching Strategies Gold. 83% were meeting in social emotional, 89% in physical, 69% in language, and 88% in cognitive. The graph for our foster children shows that 12 children were assessed. While most children were meeting the widely held expectations in social emotional with 75% and 83% in physical and language and cognitive, they were just under the goal of 85% meeting. Lastly, we can see the data of our children experiencing homelessness for both program options combined. In total, 4 children were assessed in TSG. Those children may not have fallen into the 85% of children meeting expectations, but there were children who were falling within the expectations in social emotional, physical, and cognitive at 67% and 50% in language. Now let us continue to the next slide and review the demographic data for our dual language learners, the number of Black or African American boys and girls, and the number of teachers who recognize, assess, and support our dual language learners in their home language. On the slide before, I shared the total number of children for both center-based and home-based who were assessed in TSG. The demographics show that there were 45 Black or African American girls, 45 Black or African American boys, 43 non-Hispanic children who identified as white or 2 or more races, and 127 Hispanic children. Our highest demographic population that was assessed is our Hispanic children, showing at a total of 49% out of the 260 children combined. Performance standards state that a program must assess children in their home language. Here we show that 57% of the 127 children's home language is Spanish. There is a total of 15 early Head Start teaching staff who speak Spanish and can assess both the child's progress in the home language and in English language acquisition. As a program, we try to be mindful in the decision of placing a teacher in each classroom or home base that may be able to support and assess our dual language learners. While sometimes that may not always work out, our center directors or assistant center directors for center base and supporting parent educators for home base are there to provide that added support by assessing the child in their home language. This quarter, 23 out of 73 children who are dual language learners were assessed using the Spanish language objective. The graph shows that 69% were meeting in physical, 65% in social emotional, 43% in language, and 60% in cognitive. As for the remaining dual language learners, They were not assessed using the Spanish language objectives. They were assessed under the English language objectives. And now on to Melissa and Zulay, who will share what's happening in health, safety, and nutrition.
Thank you, Nicole, for our child data updates. Good morning, everyone. I am Zulay Diaz-Plasencia, and with me I have
Melissa Berry Johnson, and we are the health coordinators for Sunrise Children's Foundation.
Throughout the program year, our goal is to optimize the health, safety, and well-being of all children by offering a variety of ongoing support to team members, children, and their families. To ensure the full participation in program services and activities, this includes children with chronic health conditions, special dietary needs, or those eligible for services under IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act.
Some ways health services focuses on optimizing the health, safety, and well-being of all children enrolled is ensuring children receive consistent and regular well checks, that they receive high quality and nutritious meals while attending our centers. Sunrise Children's ongoingly works to support children remaining up to date per the Nevada Healthy Kids Early and Periodic Screening Diagnostics and Treatment Schedule and the latest immunizations recommendations issued by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Our program goal is to reach 85% of enrolled children who are up to date on EPSDT screeners and to reach 90% of enrolled children up to date on their immunization status. We ended quarter one at 59% up to date on the EPSDT screeners and 86% up to date on the immunization status. Leading into quarter two, we continue to see a decrease in both up-to-date statuses, ending quarter two at 49% for EPSDT, 36% short of our goal, and 80% complete exempt and up-to-date on immunizations, which is 10% short of our goal. Shortages with team member vacancies across program areas, inconsistent use of health status notices, and rapid increase in enrollments across programs contributed to the percentage goals being missed. The health team continues to provide monthly updates on child health statuses to appropriate team members and has conducted an introduction to health documents training for all newly hired family service team members and continues to work on establishing community and state partnerships with healthcare providers that will increase opportunities and accessibility to healthcare services. In quarter three, we will focus on finalizing revisions to the health status notice form and policy and procedure to ensure parents are provided with at least 30 days notice of upcoming health requirements. In addition, we will continue to support team members and parents' understanding of immunization requirements to ensure children remain up to date with no impacts on the ability to attend our child development centers or socialization events.
And on to the next slide. SCF participates in CACFP, which is the Child and Adult Care Food Program, which sets parameters for reimbursement of eligible meals and snacks served to children as part of their regular daily care while attending our centers or partnership sites. Programs who participate in CACFP must make reasonable meal and snack substitutions with considerations of individual nutritional and special dietary needs. In quarter two, we provided approximately 23,968 claimable meals over 64 operating days, equating to roughly 335 claimed meals per day. This is an increase of 4,655 from quarter one, with 3 less operating days and an average of 47 more meals provided per day. At the end of quarter two, our CACFP audit began, and while still in progress, we have identified the need to revise the current procedure regarding meal counts and to conduct a training for all center-based team members on family-style dining. In addition, we began partnering with Food for Kids, a nonprofit organization that will provide CACFP sponsorship to our family child care providers, ensuring children enrolled at their home facilities are receiving the same high quality and nutritious meals as the children attending our child development centers. In quarter three, the health team will continue to work towards building relationships with our new partners, and finalizing SCF's CACFP guide. For our Q2 health services monitoring, the team conducted unannounced visits to all 7 open EHS centers and partnership sites, examining and observing in each classroom and around the facility, utilizing the same health and safety checklist from Q1. The checklist addresses 4 system components: facilities, equipment and materials, policy and procedures, and active supervision and observation, which included a total of 29 indicators used to determine center compliance. SCF centers met 93% compliance, an overall increase of 4% from Q1. Of the 4 system components addressed within the monitoring checklist, policies and procedures and active supervision both were at 88% in compliance. Equipment and materials were 96% in compliance, and facilities being the highest at 97%. Of the 8 indicators that had non-compliant findings, question AS6, which is American Sign Language signs are posted or visible in all rooms, was the least compliant, with only 2 of 7 centers with signs posted in all rooms. All other non-compliant items across centers were corrected on-site. As part of our ongoing CQI to address AS6, the health team will be creating larger ASL signs for all centers and classrooms so teachers are able to place around the room to support ongoing language development. Now we will pass it over to Angela for disabilities, mental health, and trauma-informed care and practice updates.
Thank you, Zulay and Melissa, for our health, nutrition, and safety updates. Good morning, everyone. I am Angela Watlington, the health manager for Sunrise Children's Foundation. Additional components for health services working towards optimizing the health, safety, and well-being of all children enrolled is supporting children eligible for services under IDEA, as well as those who are experiencing developmental delays or challenges or mental health concerns. SCF is required to have 10% of our EHS funded enrollment be filled with children eligible for services under IDEA. During Q1, we saw a steady increase in our enrollment percentage for children eligible for services under IDEA, ending November with 8.3%, approximately 32 children enrolled with an individualized family service plan, IFSP, or therapy plan. In Q2, we continued to see an increase in our enrollment percentage, hitting our 10% goal in February 2024 and ending our Q2 at 9.7% of our funded enrollment, with 37 children currently enrolled with an IFSP or therapy plan. Additionally, we have 1 child with a therapy plan enrolled in our MICV program and 2 children enrolled in Nevada-ready pre-K rooms with an individualized education plan, IEP, or therapy plan. SCF also tracks children with open concerns. Those who are exhibiting challenging behaviors, including mental health and social emotional concerns, are suspected to have a developmental delay in 1 or multiple domains, or are pending a comprehensive evaluation for services due to an external referral. At the beginning of Q2, we had approximately 19 open concerns for an additional 5% of our EHS funded enrollment receiving support from disabilities and mental health. At the end of Q2, there were 18 open concerns for EHS programs for an additional 4.7% of enrolled children receiving additional support, and 6 open concerns for our Nevada-ready pre-K classrooms. One of the ways concerns are identified is by team members' usage of a request for internal observation, RIO, allowing us to better track and monitor support being provided to educators and children with suspected needs or concerns, as well as identifying areas to focus on for ongoing professional development. During the quarter, we received 6 RIOs for a cumulative total of 17 RIOs received since August 2024. Of the 6 received during the quarter, 5 were from our Nevada-ready pre-K program, all for language concerns, and 1 from EHS due to challenging behavior. Cumulatively, 59% of all RIOs received have been for language concerns, with 11.8% being for dual language learners, 17.6% have been for social emotional concerns, 5.9% for challenging behaviors, and 11.8% for concerns in 2 or more domains. Additional data that is tracked for RIOs is the child's age at receipt of RIO, their ethnicity, as well as their gender. This allows SCF to review and analyze the RIOs received to identify trends that align with specific and local national data pertaining to development and behavior, and better identify ways to enhance program services to address developmental gaps and ensure appropriate supports are being provided to children, their families, and team members. Based on the 23-24 RIO data collected during the first 2 quarters, our focus continues to remain on supporting both language and social emotional development across programs. During quarter 2, there was a total of 12 referrals initiated to external partners, of which 1 resulted from a RIO, for a total of 8 referrals resulting from RIOs for the program year. There were 3 referrals submitted to Nevada Early Intervention Services, NEIS. 7 referrals were submitted to Clark County School District, CCSD Child Find, our local education agency, in support of transition to Part B services, and 2 referrals were submitted to mental health child care consultation. Next slide. The health team also works with families to ensure children can participate in all program activities regardless of condition or diagnosis. Special care plans, SCP meetings, address the specific health, nutrition, or disability needs and any necessary accommodations of children and their families through planning and coordination alongside appropriate SCF team members. During quarter 2, a total of 13 special care plan meetings were complete, of which 2 were health care plans for children with asthma or an EpiPen. 3 were nutrition care plans for home brought meals and food allergies, and 8 were disability care plans. For children enrolled with an IFSP or therapy plan, our goal is to complete a disability care plan for all children enrolled throughout the program year. At the end of quarter 2, approximately 24 children have had a disability care plan complete, for approximately 56%, with 15 children or 35% pending scheduling, 1 child or 2% pending documents, and 3 children or 7% requiring follow-up. Of the children who are pending scheduling, 8 are not currently attending centers and will be scheduled as they are selected for in-person attendance. Another important component to supporting the health and well-being of team members and children and their families is the development of SCF's Trauma-Informed Care and Practice, TICP framework, and the ability to offer TICP coaching to our team members. This process supports the strengthening of SCF and CCP team members' knowledge and understanding of social emotional development and mental health practices as it relates to the implementation of the pyramid model. Since the beginning of the program year, our TICP and mental health coach has provided intensive coaching to 12 SCF team members. Planning for our first TICP cohort continued throughout the quarter, and we began our Train the Trainer series in March 2024, completing the first 2 sessions during the month and the 4 remaining sessions scheduled for quarter 3. Additionally, to support this goal, we have incorporated opportunities to train team members on the Circle of Security, which is an attachment-based caregiver education program that helps caregivers better understand and build on their relationships with their children and the children in their care. 6 team members have participated in the training series through TICP coaching, while an additional 5 team members attended the Circle of Security Parenting Facilitator training this past March. We will continue to work towards identifying additional opportunities and address SCF system components to increase team members' understanding and capacity to implement the pyramid model and trauma-informed care practices as a means to support overall mental health and well-being. And now on to Trina and Chloe, who will share what's happening in home visiting.
Thank you, Angela. Hello, my name is Trina Richardson, and I am the home-based manager. My team and I support the EHS and McVie home visiting program. During this quarter, the home-based team focused on providing high-quality education services to all qualified children and families. In support of this goal, team members visited families weekly using the Parents as Teachers curriculum. The curriculum focused on supporting families with positive parent-child interactions, family well-being, and development-centered parenting. Team members also attended professional development to enhance their ability to support families with positive child interactions while increasing their knowledge about their child's development and school readiness. The data on the slide reflects our home visit attendance, services provided to families, and expectant families data. Home visits have been biweekly this quarter due to staff vacancies. The biweekly schedule and changing of team members caused some families to be inconsistent with their visit schedule. The average attendance for this quarter was in the 60 to 65% range. In response to this, the parent educators have been intentional about confirming home visits and going to homes to families who are unresponsive. The data here shows who was present during home visits. Most of the visits were attended by mother and child. However, the data here shows that visits are also attended by fathers and other family members. 5% of EHS home visits were attended by father and child. Family connections are offered bi-weekly to families and support families with opportunities to socialize with other parents, observe positive parent-child interactions, and observe their children developing while socializing with their peers. Each connection focuses on a school readiness goal, and the team provides families with resources and activities that support that goal. Connections have returned to in-person during this quarter, and as shown here, the attendance of family connections is growing. Now, Chloe will share with you about our expectant families.
Thank you, Trina. Hello, everyone. I'm Chloe Podarko, the Home Visiting Coordinator and Coach. The Home Visiting Program also enrolls expected families and supports them with education on breastfeeding, safe sleep, effects of drug and alcohol, and fetal development. The data here reflects a total of 11 expected families enrolled, of which 7 were in our EHS program and 4 in our McV program. Of these families, 2 EHS and 2 McV were high risk. There were no teen mothers enrolled. Family turnover can be seen reflected and thankfully shows that none of the families terminated before the program year. The data also reflects that 5 EHS and 1 McV families have enrolled their child in the program after birth. Further, this data will continue to change once expected families have delivered. Expected mothers complete the Edinburgh screening at enrollment and again after postpartum. The average score were 5.9 for EHS and 6.1 for McV families. None of these families assessed were referred for mental health interventions, and none of the families received assistance with substance abuse treatment. The highest score was a 13. Families who scored above an average are referred to our mental health and disabilities team and receive resources to support their mental health and overall well-being. The home visitors continue to support the families with education and resources to encourage positive outcomes in this area. Thank you for allowing me to share what is going on within our amazing home-based program. And now on to Ms. Jamie to share with us what's going on with HIPPY.
Thank you, Chloe. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HIPPY presentation for Data Jam. This quarter, the HIPPY team continues to focus on improving the overall performance and outcomes. During quarter 2, HIPPY team members became better familiar with the data system of Visit Tracker and the data quality alert features. We use this data feature as a tool to guide us to successful data entry and to identify any missing data. Now let's review the attendance, family health and economic self-sufficiency, child data outcomes, and team members' professional development data sets and their objectives for the HIPPY team.
During quarter 2, HIPPY parent educators to enroll families from the HIPPY interest list. We currently have 0 families on the wait list. At the end of quarter 2, there is 1 parent educator vacancy for SCF HIPPY Las Vegas. Our attendance objective is 80% of families will complete all home visits that are offered each month. Parent educators completed a total number of 349 home visits during this quarter.
Under the family health and economic self-sufficiency, the objective reads, families are asked about behavioral concerns during 90% of home visits. Parent educators ask families at each home visit about their child's behavior or health. If a concern is mentioned by the primary caregiver, then parent educators document and provide resources and evidence-based research to help with the parent's concern.
During quarter 2, families were asked about the child's behavior 100% of the home visits. Moving to resources, HIPPY offers families a multitude of resources weekly, ranging from topics that focus on family well-being, physical health, and early childhood development. HIPPY parent educators have shared a total number of 328 resources with families.
As we move over to the right of the slide, you will note the child data outcomes objective reads 85% of children who meet or exceed the wildly held expectation in 7 developmental domains: social emotional, physical, language, cognitive development, literacy, mathematics, and Spanish language. The first graph shows the number of children who were observed in Teaching Strategies Gold. We had a number of 35 children. The chart shows 31 children for Hippie McVie and 4 children for SCF Hippie programs.
The second graph shows how many children are meeting, exceeding, or below the widely held expectations. At the top of the graph, you will note that social emotional development domains shows 1 child is below, 12 children are meeting, and 0 children are exceeding. For physical development, you will see 0 children are below, 16 children are meeting, and 0 children are exceeding. The next domain is language, in which shows 3 are below, 14 are meeting, and 1 is exceeding. Moving down to cognitive development, 1 child is below, 10 are meeting, and 1 child is exceeding. Towards the bottom of the graph, you will find the literacy where 1 child is below, 6 children are meeting, and 0 are exceeding. Next, mathematics, where 0 are below, 4 are meeting, and 0 are exceeding. The next column on the graph is Spanish language, where 3 children are below, 4 are meeting, and 0 are exceeding.
The last data set to review is team members' professional development in inter-rated reliability. As you see, we have a total of 8 parent educators in CSG. 6 parent educators are current in IRR and 2 are in progress. This concludes the data sets for Hippie. Now let's hear more about Nevada Ready program. Take it away, Tommy.
Hello and good morning, Sunrise Children's Foundation. My name is Tommy Ramos and I am the Interim Center Director for our fabulous West Campus. Our Nevada Ready program implements the high school curriculum, which is a research-driven methodology emphasizing constructive adult-child interactions. This curriculum is designed to nurture children's creativity, self-assurance, and autonomy, providing highly effective in facilitating holistic child development. To evaluate each child's progress and capitalize on their strengths for enhanced learning, we utilize the High School Child Observation Record Core. SCF uses the Core Advantage Growth Data Report and the data collected from Brigance to analyze our child data outcomes. Over the school year, the number of our enrolled children has increased. During period 2, we had 21 children. Presently, we are still in period 3 and currently have 24 children enrolled. SCF uses the Brigance Online Management System, OMS, for screening our children, focusing on the skills that lead to our school readiness. The Brigance Online Management System is the screening tool that we utilize twice a year. The initial screening is completed within 30 days, about 4.5 weeks from the child's start date. The second screening is completed 30 days before the end of the school year. The pie chart on the left reflects the data from our online management system, OMS, and shows that 56% scored below the cutoff, 33% within normal limits, and 11% above gifted cutoff. After gathering further information, the children who scored below the cutoff were the children who had English as a second language. Therefore, rescreenings were also conducted shortly after, therefore, in their home language. We opened 2 of our new classrooms, 1 additional classroom here at our West Campus location in January. And in March of 2024, our second classroom at our East location. We anticipate opening our third new classroom at our Spring Valley campus by the end of the program year. Our Desert Rose campus renovations are expected to be completed by October of 2024, in which that location will house 30 Nevada Ready children. SCF is continuing to identify alternative temporary location options. The second graph to the right reflects the data from Core Advantage Data Growth. Core Advantage is built on 36 items that best prepare children for school success. Core Advantage measures 8 major areas of growth and development, which include approaches to learning, social, emotional, physical development, language literacy, mathematics, creative arts, science and technology, and social studies. The graph shows the data during period 2. Furthermore, on the bottom of the graph shows the demographics of the children who were assessed. Our amazing Nevada Ready teachers strive every day within their classrooms to make sure that they are giving these children and families the best learning experiences, resources, and support to help their child succeed and to get to that next level as they age out from our wonderful programs here at SCF and into kindergarten. And now on to Kathy to tell us more about our family care partners. Kathy, take it away.
Thank you, Tommy. My screen. Thank you, Tommy. We are excited to say that we have signed contracts with 3 family child care partners: Spread the Love Childcare, Kingdom's Daycare, and Destiny's Butterflies. We are hoping to have our next contract signed at the end of this month. Family child care providers care for a small group of children in their home-like setting. These providers are licensed and comply with various health and safety standards, just as our center-based programs do. They typically have a mix of ages, with infants, toddlers, and preschoolers together, creating a more family-like feeling rather than the classroom atmosphere. Each family care provider will have 4 early Head Start children enrolled, with a total of up to 12 children, with no more than those 12 children, with 4 of them being under the age of 24 months. Providers will also have another person on site to provide care, so there will always be 2 providers, whether there are 2 children or 12 children. We also have 2 current child development center partnerships: the Hills Preschool and Prestigious Academy of Las Vegas. The Hills Preschool houses 6 early Head Start classrooms and 48 children, and Prestigious Academy houses 16 children and 2 early Head Start classrooms, which we are excited to say they have completed their licensing requirements and will be opening those classrooms within the next quarter. And now on to Peter to tell us about in-kind.
Thank you, Kathy. As most of us know, and for those of us who may not, a grant requires us to match the money that is given to us with donations or services, which is also known as in-kind. In-kind is a way for the community and families to give back and is part of our agreement with families enrolled in the program. In-kind donations include physical property, intangible property, services, and rent-free space. Families can generate in-kind donations in the classroom and at home every day by committing their time for policy council meetings, parent trainings and parent meetings, socializations, and parent cafes. They can also contribute to in-kind through completing activities at home that align with their child's individual school readiness goal, such as singing, dancing, reading books, playing peekaboo, doing puzzles, taking a bath, running, jumping, and more. These activities that the parents do with their children and record in our in-kind system are referred to as everyday in-kind hours. Parents are encouraged to record the amount of time that they spend with their child in doing the specific activities on the form given to them by their classroom teacher or home visitor. There are specific requirements that need to be met to be counted as in-kind, including that the activity relates to the child's individual school readiness goal. We also collect the time parents spend with their child during therapy, early intervention, well baby check appointments, and immunizations. We even track the mileage to and from the doctor's visit and or therapy appointment, and their travel to and from policy council and or parent meetings / trainings. So far this program year, we've had 114 current or former parent volunteers, 16 job discovery program volunteers or JDP volunteers, and 4 other non-parent volunteers, which typically consists of community partners who volunteer during policy council. In quarter 1, we were able to capture 1,307 hours of approved in-kind hours. Of those hours, 85 were parent volunteer hours, 1,217 were JDP volunteer hours, and 5 were non-parent hours. In quarter 2, we were able to record 1,514 in-kind hours. Of those hours, 999 were parent volunteer hours, 513 were JDP hours, and 2 were non-parent volunteer hours. This results in a grand total of 2,731 donated volunteer hours. We can further disaggregate the data for our parent / non-parent hours. In quarter 1, we were able to capture 27 hours for parent time spent during policy council, family connection meetings, school readiness events, and or volunteer time in classrooms. In quarter 2, we captured 154 hours, an increase of 127 hours for parent time in those events. For parent-child activities done at home, it counts activities, Ready Rosie videos, TSG learning activities, and other monthly activities done at home in quarter one. We had recorded 56 in-kind hours. And in quarter two, we recorded 819 hours, which is an increase of 763 hours. For donated hours regarding child's well baby checks, immunizations, special care plans, and/or therapy appointments, we tracked a total of 25 hours, with 3 of them coming from quarter one and 24 coming from quarter two. Parents are also able to donate miles that are connected to policy councils, school readiness events, family connection meetings, special care plans, therapy, and/or well baby checks / immunizations. In quarter one, we had 34 miles donated, and in quarter two, we had 819 miles donated for a grand total of 853 donated miles. And that concludes the data portion of Data Jam. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And Kathy, please let us know what's coming up next.
Amazing Data Jam information. Thank you, Peter. Thank you to all of our legacy and emerging leaders for sharing. So now we're going to go into a fun part. Everybody gets to participate. Woohoo! So if you haven't already, you can see it on the screen. We're going to do a quick knowledge check to see what you all learned. I'm going to stop recording. If I can find it. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. If you didn't know we were recording. So